allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember DeVore.
I'm here.
Councilmember Hodges.
Here.
Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
Councilmember T-Lander.
Here.
And Mayor Altough.
Here. Approval of the agenda.
I will move that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Approval of the minutes from the preceding regular meeting.
I would move that we approve the minutes of the June 20th special meeting.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mayor Altough.
Yes.
Councilmember DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Hodges.
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember T-Lander.
Yes.
And the June 20th closed meeting.
I move that we would approve those minutes as well.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Hodges.
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember T-Lander.
Yes.
Mayor Altough.
Yes. And the regular meeting.
I move that we would approve the minutes of the June 20th regular meeting.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hodges.
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember T-Lander.
Yes.
Mayor Altough.
Yes.
Councilmember DeVore.
Yes.
Accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember T-Lander.
Yes.
Mayor Altough.
Yes.
Councilmember DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Hodges.
Yes.
Citizens' discussion for items not on the agenda. Old business.
There's nothing new.
Nothing new. New business.
We have Robert Brown here.
I'm there. Let me go back.
Someone's going to hand. Fingers crossed.
There we go. Well, I'm trying off the cell phone. I haven't done that.
Here you go.
We're making progress. Looking to get there. All right, here we go. Well, thank you for having us here today. My name is Robert Brown. I'm the chairperson of the Friends of the Fred Meyer River Valley Rail Trail. With me today, I have two distinguished board members. I have Alan Rumbaugh, who's our Kent County representative and treasurer, and I have George Raymer with me, who's a Ionia County representative and a believe one of the founding members of the group themselves. I think Alan, you've been the longest of the three of us here, I believe.
George did.
George, yeah, pretty. So I'm here today to give you a quick update on the Friends group, which I like to call it because that is a very long name to repeat. Friends of the Fred Meyer River Valley Rail Trails all the time. Our trail group comprises about 40 miles of trail. Most of that's undeveloped still. We'll get through that here shortly. A quick list of our board members, I won't read those off. But each county that our trail interacts with, Kent County, Montcalm County, and Ionia County, we have reserved board seats for each of those counties. Members can apply for membership on the board, and then through the membership, you're elected to the board, and once on the board elects officers within itself. So our organization was started being formed in 2010. A bunch of trail people who wanted to see a trail come through town started getting together. We're a branch off from the Heartland Trail, which is located up in Greenville. They were the original, I would say, powerhouses of the trail. And from there, we've kind of spawned off a couple different trail groups. In 2012, we became an official 501(c), and I would say that's when the bulk of our fruits began to come to tuition, especially with building the Belding Trail and eventually the Ionia Trail. It's important to note that our Friends group covers two separate trails. We cover the Flat River Valley Rail Trail, which is roughly Lowell to Greenville, and then we have the Grand River Valley Rail Trail, which is Lowell to Ionia. Our board and our membership are responsible for trail maintenance. So we make sure the trails are mowed, the litter's free, vandalism's cleaned up. That's all within the realm of our board and our Friends members. This board is at 100% volunteer. We receive no stipends or no pay. We're lucky we'll get our gas reimbursed. And that's the way we kind of like it. So with that, our mission statement, I won't read that out loud, but basically our mission statement is what we use to guide us. When we're developing a trail plan or assisting a community as we come into their community, we want to make sure that their plans and our plans match up and that we're achieving one of our core beliefs, such as instilling community pride or being good stewards of the environment. These are all things that we consider as we're developing our plans and beginning to execute them. The trail network that we're a part of is a grander scheme called the Fred Meyer Mid-Michigan Trail Network. Altogether, we're talking 125 miles of trail, and the original is the Heartland Trail. They start in Greenville, and they end in Elma, which is roughly 40 miles of trail. That is an all-asphalt trail. Quite a beautiful little trip. Some of our members, I believe George and Alan, have you rode that completely? No, not completely. I have not myself. It's quite the stretch. It's very beautiful. This is the original trail group. And then from there, we also have the CIS, the Clinton, Ionia, Shiawassee. This picks up in Ionia where our group ends and continues on to Owasso. Inside this, there's crushed limestone, and there's also some paved segments throughout. And then finally, the River Valley Rail Trails. We start at 57 in Greenville, and we continue all the way through to Prairie Creek and Ionia. Currently, we only have a small segment in Belding that's asphalt, and later on we'll talk about future plans to expand down on Lowell and expand up into Greenville. Currently, from Saranac to Lowell, or Ionia, we have crushed limestone, which is roughly 5.3
miles of limestone.
5.3 miles of limestone we have, and then once you get into Ionia, once you cross the Grand River Valley, or the Grand River, then it comes into asphalt and it continues out through town, which I believe is roughly 2 miles. So our trail network is quite extensive, and you'll understand why we're a little slow at shooting the gun. The trails actually has numerous owners, but ultimately what it basically comes down to is the trail network. The Michigan Department of Transportation owns most of the corridors that we have in our trail network, with the exception being the Heartland Trail. They're the only ones, I believe, in our network that own their own trail. So the DNR has it because the Transportation Department has it because it is a transportation corridor. From there, they lease it out to the DNR because the DNR folks are a lot better at managing trails than the road people are. So from there, it's leased out to the Midwest Michigan Trail Authority. This is an interlocal agreement between 3 counties and the city of St. John's. The trails are funded primarily for maintenance from a Meyer Foundation endowment. And I believe that's roughly $3 million, and we pull off from that And to give a perspective, we figure when we run our numbers, our trail segment costs us just over $1,000 a mile to maintain. So it can easily eat into quite a bit of money. This body that's here is made up of appointed officials from the counties. There's a county board of commissioner, I believe, that sits on. Then there's some at-large seats within there. From there, the ferry delegates out responsibilities to each of the Friends groups, the three that we spoke about, the Heartland Trail, River Valley Trail, and the CIS Trail. So types of trails. If we can kill those lights by chance. Could you kill us? Sorry about that.
You want them all the way off or up?
Yeah. Let's see if we can clear it up a little bit. The back picture looks a little better. So we have an unimproved trail. Unimproved trails are the original trail corridor where the train tracks went on. We're talking crush the ballast that's still there. Sometimes you see some railroad ties out there. They are not maintained for use at the moment. We do take a mower down them and make sure there's no trees across them, but we definitely wouldn't encourage people to go out and play on those sections of the trails. The improved sections are the crushed limestone, which we see between Ionia and Saranac. And then we have paved inside the municipalities. So the village of Saranac has paved, and also the city of Belding and the city of Ionia. Coming down the turnpike, which I'm going to surprise some of my board members that are here tonight, and working with the DNR, we're trying to find a way to expand the trail's appeal. And one of the ways we do this is what we call edible alleys. We replace standard vegetation and landscaping with edible goods. So we've contacted a couple of the gardening clubs that are on board with us to help maintain those. So as you guys continue on with your LARA board and with us coming down to intersect with you, as you're developing your plans, I would really consider opening up corridors that allow for edible arbor, maybe apple trees, or maybe put in flower beds that can be maintained with vegetables or edible goods. Not only is that obviously a great benefit to your community to have access to fresh vegetables, it's a great hobby for the kids to do, so they don't think, chicken comes from the freezer section and apples come from the, that section over there. So those are all some of the things we're talking about. Trail assets. Besides just being a great asset just because, trails bring people together. If you ever walk on a trail, especially in the Belding area, Ionia area, you'll always see people on the trail. It could be 9 o'clock in the morning around the trail, 5 o'clock in the morning around the trail. When snow comes, they switch over to snowshoes and they have skis on and they're doing their own thing. It's a great thing to see. Another asset that it has for the community is your ability to host events. There's a lot of bike to paddle. George, what do you do? Do you remember? I don't remember. Bike.
Ultra-marathon biking.
Yep.
Snowshoeing. Cross-country skiing. Biking.
So we see a lot of use with the trail for those events. We also see it for rehabilitation. I know in Belding we have a nursing home that brings down their clients. They use a small section of our trail, which is a great tool to have. So in addition to those benefits, we have the tangible benefits. We have increased tourism. We know property values increase when a trail touches your property or comes into your community. Those are all little things that don't directly affect you, but in the long run will affect your community. So the more you can do to develop landscaping and the trail coming in, ultimately the better your values will increase. We always see, at least in our smaller communities, Traverse City areas, you'll see increases in your small knick-knack type shops, your tourism type stuff, t-shirts, hats, restaurants see a big increase. With this trail that we have through, our trail is ADA compliant. So you can be in a wheelchair and you can navigate our trail. Our restrooms that we have out on our trail, our portal johns, I guess you'd say, are all ADA compliant. They're huge. I think it's bigger than my first apartment. There's one down there in the lower right. There's special adaptive equipment they have now for wheelchairs, such as the one in the upper right, for the really hardcore bikers. But our crushed asphalt, our crushed limestone and our asphalt are all maintained with slopes that are ADA compliant. So you can safely go out and utilize that trail. So synergy. Synergy is when you work together to create something bigger than yourself. And that's exactly what our trail is about. We can't do it alone, nor I don't think any municipality can do it alone. I'm not going to read through everything on the board, but suffice to say there's areas that we can overlap. I know with the Heartland Trail, they're working with local law enforcement up there to do a bicycle safety type course. And I believe they had funding for 200 bike helmets, plus some bikes and a bunch of other crazy stuff, which is just amazing to have. So partnering with like law enforcement in those regards, working with us on your development plans when your trail comes in, how it's going to look, where we're going to put stuff. I know in one community that we work with, we have a trail that goes through and it's beautiful, but retail shops weren't set up with places to lock up your bicycle. And we didn't have restrooms available at the time. Those have both since been rectified, but those are areas that we can work together and partner as a governmental agency. Additionally, we have community leaders we can work with. Local businesses are welcomed, sponsorships, they can utilize our trail for events. So far, the foundation of our success has been based on partnerships. Non-governmental agencies we work with quite extensively, corporate sponsorships, municipal partners, and of course our general membership. A point to make with our general membership. Membership for our trail group is $10. But we take that money and we can use that to leverage additional funding. So your $10 might turn into $30, which turns into $300, which adds up quick for us. So little steps like that help us increase our ability to impact other communities. So the big question is, when's the trail going to be in Lowell? Well, 2018. The phone call I received today is we're looking good for 2018. Now, don't quote me on that and lynch me if it doesn't happen, because we are talking about 4 governmental agencies that got to get along. But as it stands right now, 2018 is our anticipated construction date to start working our way from Belding down here. And I believe that trail will be asphalt, is what I was told. So from there, we're hoping Laura will be on board and be set by then and have a path through your city, and then we'll pick up again and we'll start working our way into the village of Saranac. So, in closing, our trails are out there, our groups are out there. We always look for volunteers that can help with trail maintenance. There's a job for anybody. Those that aren't the maintenance type, such as myself. I sit behind the desk and write grants and coordinate with other agencies. George is an avid maintainer, Alan's a maintainer, and works behind the desk with me quite a bit. So there's a job for everybody that's available. Our membership numbers right now could use a little boost, so I'd encourage anybody. I have membership envelopes here you can sign up tonight, and magazines available after the meeting. Another option to do to help our group is we also sell membership benches, which get placed along the trail, give somebody a place to rest, and you can remember your loved one there. And if you have one of those QR phones, you can take a picture of that, and I'll take you to our website. So I have in closing talking a mile a minute. Is there any questions I can answer from your council?
Your trail, when it goes through Ionia, that's the nice bridge by the Burger King.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. That is our trail.
That was quite an accomplishment.
It was
quite a monster.
It was. The prior board worked very hard with the city of Ionia and the engineers to make sure that happened. There was a lot of budgeting issues with that had to be resolved.
I can imagine.
But it's a gorgeous bridge. And we have a bunch of other bridges between Ionia. How many do we have between Ionia and Saranac? 4, 5, 6, 7? We have about 7 bridges between there that are as glamorous, but the views are unbeatable. So
Bridges are always quite the task.
they are, and they are built like tanks. So they will be there for some time.
I was wondering, with your edible stations, just run into any problem with deer or other animals?
This is still a coming of age project. We're looking to start this spring. So we're still looking for community partners to buy in and assist either with volunteering, with it, such as your gardening clubs, maybe some really enthusiastic green thumb people that I am not. I would kill a cactus in a minute. So not my job. But I'll let you know how that starts playing out. I know right now we have 3 communities that are on board with proceeding, and I meet with the City of Ionia's city manager here tomorrow to go through some finer details and maybe exploring that as our pilot program. But we will definitely keep you up to date.
Jason's a good guy.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree. Any other questions? Well, thank you for having us. I appreciate it. And
Thank you.
We'll be around after the meeting.
Thank you.
And now we have a little presentation from Rich.
Sure. Good evening. I just wanted to update everybody on some of the public works projects that are wrapping up. Just 3 items here. North Washington Street, the county just paved that last week, the stretch from Fremont to the city limits, so if you haven't seen that, the county paved that, and the city is working on doing the restoration, that's the shoulder work. So we'll be out there and have that wrapped up hopefully by the end of this week, if not early next week. Sidewalk project that the mayor's requested us to inspect the DDA. That's about 25% complete. and we anticipate finishing that up here in the month of July sometime. And then finally, the downtown parking lot that is practically finished. It's being used right now. It's striped just as of last week. Two outstanding items on that are the dumpster enclosure. So there's just the gates to close the dumpsters in. Those are outstanding. And we're still working on selecting a light that matches our existing city lights. We want to find some sort of light that comes close in style. And this one will be LED to be put in the parking lot right away. And then the other thing that was happening in town was the Main Street corridor was done by MDOT. And I just spoke with them today, and they anticipate having the barricades picked up here before the Riverwalk Festival. But we did give them a punch list of about a page and a half that they are going to be working on as well. So I just spoke with them today. I'm going to try to get them to coordinate around the Riverwalk Festival so that they're not interfering with visitors coming to town. So I expect to see MDOT trucks back out here wrapping up the key things that we pointed out to them. So, any questions?
They are going to try to get the sidewalks and the streets.
Yes, that is one of the punch list items, both on Monroe and Avery and on M21. I think our guys can actually do a little bit of the cleanup on Monroe and Avery prior to the Riverwalk Festival. That's a small amount.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
City managers.
Sure. Just to give you just an update with regard to the city manager process, and most of you know that next Monday, July 11th, between 6 and 8, there'll be an opportunity for the candidates to meet the public and in an informal setting over at the Grand Balut. And we've been getting a number of people that have expressed an interest in meeting these folks. I did want to mention that we did receive word today that Amy Baniga will not be pursuing this. She received a job in the private sector, so she dropped out of the group. But we do have 3 strong candidates, and they are Mike Burns, who is the Assistant City Manager of Fenton, Michigan, Anton Graft, who is the City Administrator of Wilmington, Illinois, and Josh Eggleston, the City Administrator of Durand, Wisconsin. Mike will be meeting on Tuesday, July 11th, with the council, interviewing at 9 o'clock. Anton Graft will be on at 10:30, and then Josh Eggleston will be on at 12:30. So that is the lineup, and so you'll have a very busy few days this next week.
Board reports, it's the first of the month, so.
I wish I could report something, but I got nothing.
Same here, but they will be meeting July 12th, 6 p.m. downstairs, the Historic District, and then on July 26th. I think they want to tie all the business together and knock it out in one meeting. So it'll be July 12th and July 26th at 6 p.m. downstairs.
Last Monday, the Planning Commission met and voted to approve site plans for the Lighthouse 26,500-foot expansion. And the next meeting for the Planning Commission is the 25th. The Showboat Commission, which is new, met, and we're just in a lot of discussion on what to do with the showboat. If anybody has ideas, the next meeting is on the 26th. Is that right, Rich? The 26th, I think, of this month?
I can't confirm.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's the 26th, 6 o'clock at the chamber office. And that's all I have.
I handed you guys all a packet that we were brought at Park and Rec. Impact Church, I believe the Baptist Church as well, and some private citizens are looking at replacing the playground equipment at Stony Lakeside Park. So they're looking to start it in 2017. It'll all be privately funded through grants, local organization, and they will provide the labor as well. There's 3 options of playground setup. And then on the very last page, is what they've asked for from us. To inspect yearly, maintain the playground equipment, will pay to obtain any permits they need. And then we talked with Rich as well about eventually putting an ADA ramp in there to get you from the parking lot to the bathrooms to the new playground equipment. And we tossed around a little bit, even trying something to get them right down to the water. So, and then Dave and I had talked about the council writing a letter to put in with their grant package. It just says we support it. But Dave thinks it'll be pretty beneficial to them when they go to apply for the grant for the playground. So if there's a consensus that that letter is something we want to do, I'll start working with Dave on that. And I
We
think,
can bring it to the next meeting.
yep.
We
Bring it
have
to
a
the
little
next
time.
meeting for.
We have a little time because
Yeah.
Bob was just looking at getting this really going next year.
Yep, he's looking, we missed the grant process, I guess, by about 2 days this year. So, but it gives them more time to get prepared, get more backing, figure out the labor, some kind of stuff. Also, the floors that they're looking at are pretty low maintenance rubber floor, so you won't have like the maintenance of the rocks or the wood chips or anything like that, or any of the cleanup around the playground for when they get scattered. Rich seems to think that's a pretty good surface. It's got a lot of life on it, 2 to 12 years on the playground equipment, but, you know, with us handling the maintenance and the DPW guys we should be able to push it all the way up to 12. So, if there's a consensus on that, I'll start with the letter, I'll bring it to you guys at the next meeting. I'll get with Dave next week and we'll start on it.
As long as Rich is on board with everything, because he's the one that
I gotta maintain it.
maintains.
And Rich, did Scott get, is Scott certified, isn't he? Because I know they talked about with the playground equipment being certified.
He is not certified at this point, but we've talked about getting him certified, and if he shows a little more interest in it, we'll sign him up. So, if he doesn't do it, I'll do it.
Because remember, I think Ron was saying that there is certification for that.
There is. It's about a $500 class, and it's quite intense. I guess they only pass about 70% of the people that take it. And so we're trying to decide now if he, I think he's on the end of his career, and he's not that tuned in on taking it. So if he doesn't do it, I'll do it.
And the partnership that they're looking at does they call it a Love Week, where they cleaned up that lot behind Speedway where we had the fire. They cleaned up that Lincoln Lake House lot behind Richards Park there where we had the other fire. And then last year they painted and duct taped the playground equipment that's currently over there. So that part of the cleanup, like a wipe down, whatever, they would figure right in with their continued Love Week that they do every year. We would be more responsible for the major, the major upkeep, any renovations like that, but that's it. And Dave, anything else?
Oh, or do you want to go first? You're talking about the park project?
Mm-hmm.
I think we covered everything. We spent the last Parks and Recreation Commission meeting spending quite a bit of time regarding this playground site. The current site equipment is in bad shape.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be done, and the one thing that I really appreciate is the amount of volunteer effort for this. And it wasn't something that was dictated by the city. It's people here that are using the parks, that are homeowners, that are just residents that really have a strong interest in improving the park. So I think everyone that's involved in that should be congratulated.
Definitely.
Sounds good. I think we ought to really work hard on seeing if we can't get some grant money to get that path down to the beach and into that too, because that makes a big difference. Not just to the young kids, but to the old kids too, watching out there to watch the young kids. So, I'm on board.
I'll move forward with Dave next week. That's the only board that I have.
And it's been pretty quiet, so mine don't start until this next week. So we do have one appointment to make, but Doesn't that usually, that appointment usually a board member set on that? Or-
Yeah, well, that appointment has been vacated by Tamla Spicer from the Light Power Board.
Okay.
Back in the day when the Arbor Board was set up, we remember there were some issues about trees and great burning desire to make sure that they were maintained and properly cared for. And consequently, it was felt that a board member from the Lowell Light and Power should also serve on the Arbor Board. And that's the vacancy that we're talking about right now. And I'm sure that they're deliberating and finding someone that's available at high noon on Mondays to do that task. So I think that they will be making a recommendation to you soon.
All right, okay, so we'll pass on that at this time. So, managers report.
I have a question then for Robert and George. This resolution was passed out, the walkable community. Do you want the council to consider this, or what were you looking at?
Yes, they would consider it. We did.
Okay, you had received a resolution designated Lowell as a walkable community. We could bring it at the next meeting if you wish. Okay, so, but you each have a copy. Okay. Just wanted to mention that last Thursday we had a mayor exchange visit to Portland. I think all that attended were just very pleased, and the Portland folks were very much liked what they saw here, and it just was just a good fit. And I hope that the council will continue that in the next years to come. I think a lot can be learned from other communities, and they can learn from us. And so, again, I just appreciate all the time and effort you took from your busy schedules to come there. And again, the people from Portland were very much impressed. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any comments tonight? You went out of
Just
town?
a couple. No, I'm really sorry I missed the Portland thing. As you know, I was doing a mission trip to South Dakota with the Lakota Indians and helping their lives be a little better. And I'm glad I did that, but I'm very sad that I missed Portland because it's my second favorite town. It really is. It's terrific. I'd just like to congratulate Steve Dunkersloot. Maybe it's premature, I don't know if it's been announced, but that guy got the job as the Lowell Light and Power General Manager, and congratulations, Steve. I say there were two citizens from the community that sat through all those interviews, one Mayor Altoff and one Jim Hodges. And I'll speak for myself, and the mayor can speak for himself too, but they were great candidates, a good choice, but the best choice was made for our general manager. Congratulations, Steve. The River Walk is this weekend, and we'd be remiss if we didn't at least acknowledge and recognize that, and all the wonderful chaos that's going to happen within our community with duck races and car shows and music and artisans showing their wares, and so looking forward to it. It's the best weekend of the year, I'll tell you. So
Fireworks, more fireworks.
Oh,
I know my dogs are
it's-
looking forward to that.
it's,
Thanks. But anyway, congratulations, Steve. You're right, you're great. Dave, Susie, Mayor Altoff, Alan, Rich, thank you. I had a great time in Portland, enjoyed all of it. It was very enjoyable, and like Dave says, I look forward to many more and expanding our horizons. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Yes, Portland was a truly exciting, wonderful opportunity to get to know the folks over there and see what they're doing in their beautiful city, and it was an honor to spend the day with them. I had the honor of talking to Steve a little bit today too, and thank him or congratulate him for his position that he's moving into, and he shared with me a little flyer that'll be in your bill. On August 1st, he's asked to do a presentation on the meters that are going to be installed, and I would hope that everybody would attend so they can learn more about these smart meters. And again, congratulations, Steve. I think Lowell should feel very honored to have you on board with our community.
Well, I didn't go to Portland, but I heard it was all right. Congratulations, Steve. I think it's fantastic. I don't think it was ever really in doubt that you were the best candidate for that job. Your turn.
Well, I had a really good time at Portland. We learned a lot about everything that we were thinking about doing. They have 12 miles of trails in the city limits. We have a little bit in our city limits, but not very much. The fire department is basically the same way as, works the same way as ours. Actually, they modeled theirs after ours, and they still have their own ambulance company, but they have a little bit different, smaller area. And they don't, what don't they do, Dave? I can't remember what. Oh, they're not, the firemen aren't EMTs.
That's right, they keep it separate.
Yeah, so they keep it separate, so, really good time. They have water turbines on the river that are probably older than you and I together. Still running 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, except right now the river's so low that they have to shut one down. They named a street after me for the day, and I have a street sign at home, so,
Well, they had it hung
yeah, they had it hung right on Main
on
Street.
on one of the poles.
Yeah.
We saw Jeff Altoff Street.
Yeah. So, I hope we had a real safe 4th of July. Not too many complaints.
It was very busy.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I actually got the weekend off, but no, we took 20 separate complaints from Friday morning until Sunday night. So some of them were a little more exciting than the other. We talk about what happened, but it was we were very busy.
No one got hurt, no fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I know it's a loud couple days, but,
We didn't get as many complaints of fireworks as we did in previous years, because
Yeah.
everybody's used to
Yeah,
now it's
used.
illegal. But the ones we did get were late at night, when it was, it was past time playing with fireworks. And no property damage that I'm aware of. So, and nobody got hurt from fireworks, so.
that's the most important thing. So we got one more night,
One more, yeah.
and that's all I have tonight. So, thank you very much.
Well, with that then, I would motion that we adjourn at 7:39.
I'll second.
Aye.
Favor?
Yes.
Yes.